Hey everyone, welcome to Open. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche for the next hour, encouraging you to get social with us online, that is. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, follow moi on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, and LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. So it's been a full year since New York City shut down, and now many small venues, including off-Broadway theaters, are making a comeback. The Theater Center is among one of the venues showcasing plays at a 33% capacity for people to enjoy and for artists to perform their craft live on stage in front of an audience. And joining us to tell us more, we welcome Theater Center General Manager Catherine Russell. Hello and welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for taking the time to be with us. And you can feel my enthusiasm because, oh my, we are so longing for us to just get back to normal or even just be in each other's presence. So what is this like for you?
Well, the Theater Center closed down March 15th, 2020, and starting like 2 days later, I started trying to figure out how we could reopen safely. So it's been over a year. So it's surreal for me. I'm very excited that we're starting performances tonight. There'll be the first live actors on stage, I believe, in New York City, in a recurring show. So we're going to be doing The Office, a musical parody, to sold out houses when it closed March 15th, 2020. And then Perfect Crime has been running for 33 years. We're going to celebrate our 34th anniversary on April 18th. So these are going to be the first two shows opening in New York with a live audience. And I'm so excited and so grateful that we've been allowed to open. I'm full of gratitude and excitement today.
Well, you know, and I get it. Now, there's some, there's different regulations within seating in a live performance. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the fact that you have to make sure that the space has a certain temperature, it's kept at a certain temperature, that people still have to wear a mask, that people have to, their temperatures need to be checked? Like, how does that also play in this new norm, I guess is the best way to phrase it?
Well, as things started to open up in June and July, gradually, I noticed that businesses were opening, but nobody was talking about small theaters. It would be really hard for Broadway to open at reduced capacity. Broadway makes a lot of money, but it costs a lot of money to run. There are many unions involved in Broadway. Off Broadway basically has only a few unions, Actors Equity, in 802. We don't have the treasurers and the stagehands. And so it's much less expensive to run an off-Broadway show. So I understood that Broadway wasn't going to open for a while at a reduced capacity, but I thought that off-Broadway could. And gradually, restaurants were allowed to open and gyms were allowed to open. The day that I read that bowling alleys were allowed to open, I went nuts. I was like, I'm glad they're all opening. Why the hell are theaters not allowed to open where you would wear a mask all the time sitting in a theater? So I called the lawyer, Jim Mermigas, who represented the gyms and the restaurants, and got them open and asked if he would take a case of small venues. And I organized some off-Broadway theaters and some comedy clubs. And we organized a class action suit. And a week before we were to go to court, Governor Cuomo decided to open the theater at 33%. We're continuing with the suit to push for 50%, but right now I'm over the moon, grateful to Cuomo, to de Blasio, to the state of New York for letting us open even at 33%. In order to be able to open, I had to provide literally several hundred pages of declaration showing why our theaters were safe. So I'm an expert on this. It seems to me most venues or businesses, it's two things. It's vaccination and ventilation. So everyone at the Theater Center who works here, people in the box office, the house managers, the actors, the woman who cleans, along with me, we are all doubly vaxxed already. So anybody walking into our theater would be surrounded by employees who've been vaccinated, and they will all be wearing masks. The actors will not wear masks on the stage, but everybody else is maxed and vaxxed. I also invested in air scrubbers this summer. You can install in your HVAC ducts these amazing mechanical things that scrub the air. I call it casino air, but it
Hmm.
basically scrubs the air of any germs. It deactivates the RNA in every germ molecule. And so the air coming out of the ducts is cleaner than outside air. We have this great monitor, and it shows outside air is like 42 and our air is 12. Lower is better. So I feel really safe being at the theater center, and I am absolutely know that people walking into the theater will feel safe. I wouldn't have opened if I didn't think that way. I'm happy.
Oh my gosh.
I'm happy at 33. I'm hoping for 50 and eventually 100%, but I'll take 33. I want to be in a room again with people telling a story. I run the theater. I'm also in the show Perfect Crime. I did all but 4 performances in 34 years. So I've only done 4 shows. I had a year off. I love being on a stage and telling a story. I love sitting in the audience, standing in the back of the theater with a group of people, hearing a story, communally. Netflix is great, but you're sitting on your couch by yourself or with your loved ones, and that's it. Something magical about being in a room with people you don't know, laughing or crying, or just feeling that. And I think we've all missed that a lot. So I'm thrilled to be one of the first to be able to do that.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. I can sense your enthusiasm, and it's lovely that you've done all this extensive research. You're right. I mean, I just sat here listening to everything you taught us. I mean, you've obviously become the expert in basically monitoring the air, because that's really what we all need to be concerning ourselves with.
It's very important to make sure that if you go into a business or a venue, that it is safe. And as a person in this particular venue, I'm responsible. So, and I'm all the time. So I have to make sure that it's safe, and I'm very confident that it is.
All right. So now let's talk about the shows before we go. So both shows that are on stage right now, both The Office and Perfect Crime, how long are they going to be running at the theater center?
Well, The Office had run for a year and a half before we were forced to close down. It was selling out. It's a joyous show. If anybody's ever watched Office, they'll laugh. It's a wonderful, like irreverent sort of homage to The Office, and it's a musical. It's really fun. The cast is unbelievably talented. I had never really watched The Office when it first opened here. During the pandemic, I have seen it, and I appreciate it even more. But as a person who'd never seen The Office, really, I loved it when I saw it 2 years ago. So I'm very excited to have that show be here. People need to laugh again. The other
how long is it going to be running? How long is it going to be running?
As long as, I hope it runs for years.
Right. It's just running. That's it. We reopened and we're running. Yeah. Got it.
I mean, we were selling out. We've sold out opening night. We're very full already, granted at 66 seats, but there are plenty of people who want to come and see the show. The other show, Perfect Crime, is the longest running play ever in the city of New York. It's run for 34 years. It opened in April of 1987. So when we reopen, I plan on it running another 30 years. Probably not with me in it. I'll be dead. But, yeah, I'm proud that I've done all but 4 performances since 1987. So I just missed my brother and sister's weddings. When I got married myself, I got married at City Hall, came right back to work. So I'm loves being at the theater. So I run a long time also. Plus, let me add that many other shows are coming and sharing the space with us. There's a wonderful show called Lily's based on the beautiful movie that's opening in May. And there's another 80s dance party called Rear View Mirror that will be opening in June. So this theater is going to be full of safe performances, starting like at noon, going through to about 11 o'clock or midnight every single day. So I hope people come.
Wonderful. And thank you for bringing it to our audience. Oh my goodness. I can feel your enthusiasm. Catherine Russell, General Manager at the Theater Center. And again, she gave us a nice list of all the safe productions that are going up. We're excited to have New York reopen in this form. And so if you guys are interested in tickets and seeing one of the plays at the Theater Center, all you got to do is visit theatercenter.com. We do have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll find out about an upcoming concert celebrating jazz music. Don't go anywhere.